Something's not right in Salem, and on May 8, 2025, secrets, suspicions, and sudden danger come crashing down. As tensions mount, loyalties are tested, and shocking decisions reshape the lives of Salem's most beloved characters. From an urgent medical crisis to emotional reunions and sinister agendas, Days of Our Lives is delivering a jam-packed episode you won't forget. Let's break it all down, every twist, every heartbreak, every hidden motive, right here, right now. Our first stop in today's explosive episode takes us to one of the most morally fraught confrontations in Salem. Kayla Johnson, a woman of conviction and compassion, comes face to face with E.J. DiMera, whose charm masks an ever-calculating mind. E.J. arrives with a proposal wrapped in gold, an enticing offer to financially support the hospital, desperately in need of resources. But this is no ordinary donation. E.J.'s money comes with strings, and those strings are tied to a risky and unapproved drug named Versavix, an experimental treatment for sepsis that hasn't even crossed into human testing. His pitch is compelling, his tone persuasive, but beneath the polished words lies the same old DiMera ambition, control, leverage, and influence. E.J. isn't just selling hope, he's selling power disguised as philanthropy. But Kayla won't be bought. She listens, she weighs the risk. And then, in a quiet yet firm voice, she delivers her answer: no. No amount of desperation, no emotional appeal to Bo Brady's failing condition, and certainly no DiMera dollars will sway her. Kayla makes it clear, her medical ethics aren't up for negotiation. Even if this decision may cost Bo his life, she won't compromise the oath she took to do no harm. This principled stand, however, creates a ripple effect. Steve Johnson, fiercely loyal and deeply in love, isn't ready to give up on Bo. And Sean Brady, driven by family and guilt, shares his urgency. Together, they begin to contemplate a dangerous solution: bypass Kayla, and steal the drug from Dr. Jeffrey Russell's lab, where Versavix is being developed. The stakes couldn't be higher. A cure may exist, but at what cost? And if they cross this ethical line, will there be any coming back? Across town, another emotional storm brews, quieter perhaps, but no less powerful. Chanel Dupree DiMera, still grappling with the emotional fallout of her failed adoption journey, finds herself spiraling. Her dreams of becoming a mother have been shattered. The hope she held onto has dissolved into grief. And in the silence that follows loss, she's left feeling alone. But then, he returns. Abe Carver, her beloved father figure, finally reappears in Salem after a long and unexplained absence. His presence is both shocking and healing. Chanel, taken aback, can barely hold back tears as she sees him walk through the door. Their reunion is quiet, intimate, and filled with unspoken emotion. No grand gestures, no dramatic outbursts, just the tender exchange between two souls who've needed each other more than they realized. Abe doesn't offer easy solutions. He doesn't try to fix the unfixable. Instead, he does what fathers do best: he listens. He holds space for Chanel's grief. He reminds her that even in the darkest hour, she's not alone. And that small gesture? It means everything. This is more than a reunion, it's a revival of hope. Abe's return signals stability, wisdom, and the kind of grounding force Chanel has been desperately missing. With him back in her corner, she might finally find the strength to heal, and maybe even open her heart to new possibilities again. It's a reminder that in Salem, no heartbreak lasts forever, and sometimes, when the world feels like it's falling apart, a familiar face can be the light that guides you back. Now, we pivot to a moment that may appear small on the surface, but in Salem, it's the quiet scenes that often carry the deepest currents. Kat Green pulls up and offers Chad DiMera a ride. To an outsider, it's an ordinary act of kindness. But for those paying close attention, it's the latest step in a slowly unfolding story of emotional tension and mutual intrigue. Earlier in the week, Chad had confronted E.J. over his decision to auction off a date with Kat for a charity event. His reasoning? Ostensibly concern. But beneath the surface, there's something much more personal: jealousy, discomfort, and the emerging realization that he might care more than he thought. That exchange stirred something in Chad. And now, sitting in the passenger seat of Kat's car, he's no longer just watching from afar, he's feeling. The air between them crackles with a new kind of tension. It's not dramatic or overt, but it's there, in the glances, the silences, the shared awareness that something is shifting. Kat, for her part, isn't oblivious. She knows there's more to Chad's concern than brotherly protectiveness. And though she's been careful with her heart, she doesn't entirely close herself off from the possibility either. This subtle connection, this quiet chemistry, might just mark the beginning of something significant. But Salem has a way of complicating love, and with EJ already in the middle of it all, one has to wonder, is this the start of a genuine romance, or another powder keg waiting to erupt? While some bonds are beginning, others are being tested in painful and uncertain ways. Johnny DiMera is spiraling, caught in a growing storm of accusation and self-doubt. His father, EJ, has made no secret of his suspicion, believing that Johnny may have been the one who shot him on that fateful night at the DiMera mansion. The evidence? Circumstantial at best. But EJ's paranoia is persuasive. And to Johnny, the implications are devastating. That's where Marlena Evans steps in, not just as a world-class therapist, but as someone who's always seen the good in Johnny, even when he can't see it himself. She doesn't press. She doesn't interrogate. Instead, she listens. She steadies him with calm, gentle counsel. Marlena encourages Johnny to look beyond the fear, to confront what he remembers and what he feels, not just what he's being told. But the emotional toll is growing. Johnny is being torn between the weight of a crime he may not have committed and the guilt of simply being near it. And here's the real twist. EJ may be wrong. Completely wrong. The real shooter? Still out there, watching, waiting, and perhaps even manipulating events to ensure Johnny takes the fall. As Marlena helps Johnny navigate the mental minefield laid before him, the audience is left with a chilling question. What really happened that night, and who stands to gain the most by keeping the truth buried? Because in Salem, the truth has a way of surfacing, and when it does, it doesn't just break hearts, it shatters lives. We close today's breakdown with what may be the most harrowing moment of the entire episode, a sudden medical crisis that turns love and joy into sheer panic. Xander Kuriakis and Sarah Horton were ready to leave their troubles behind. A much-needed romantic getaway awaited them, a chance to celebrate their marriage, their endurance, and the rare peace they'd finally found. But fate had other plans. In the town square, under the soft buzz of everyday life, Sarah bites into one of her favorite pastries, a sweet indulgence from Sweet Bits, the bakery she's trusted for years. But within seconds, something feels wrong. Her throat tightens. Her chest begins to heave. She starts coughing, lightly at first, then violently. And then she gasps, but no air comes in. What begins as a mild discomfort quickly spirals into a full-blown medical emergency. Xander, initially confused, watches in growing horror as Sarah's face twists in pain and panic. She clutches her throat, her eyes wide with fear, and collapses to the ground. Everything stops. Xander falls to his knees, shouting for help, his voice cracking, his face contorted with helplessness. He cradles her in his arms, calling her name over and over, begging her to stay with him. In that moment, all his bravado vanishes. The tough exterior is gone. We see a man utterly broken, terrified of losing the one person who made him believe he could change. And as he pleads with the onlookers and emergency services are rushed to the scene, a chilling question begins to surface. What caused this? Early suspicions point to a recipe change at Sweet Bits, and behind that change is Felicity Green, Kat's younger sister. Did she accidentally use an ingredient Sarah was allergic to? Or is this something deeper, something more sinister hiding beneath a simple baked good? No one knows yet, but what we do know is this: Sarah is unconscious. Her breathing is shallow, and time is not on her side. So, what now? Where does Salem go from here, after a day of hard decisions, emotional reunions, and life-threatening turns? Will Kayla's refusal to work with EJ push Steve and Sean over the edge, and into criminal territory? Can Marlena help Johnny uncover the real shooter, before he loses himself under the weight of blame? Is Chanel finally ready to heal, or will grief continue to isolate her, even with Abe back in her life? And most importantly, will Sarah survive? Or will this unexpected allergy send shockwaves through the entire community? This episode wasn't just another day in Salem, it was a reckoning. Loyalties are shifting, truths are unraveling, and the clock is ticking. Every character is being pushed to their breaking point. And as secrets get harder to keep and consequences become impossible to ignore, one thing is clear: the calm days in Salem are long gone. Thank you for joining us for this in-depth look into days of our lives. If today's episode left you breathless, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more spoiler breakdowns, character deep dives, and shocking predictions. We'll be back with more twists, heartbreaks, and revelations from the world of Salem. Until next time, stay dramatic, stay curious, and most of all, stay tuned.